if I go by Celsius, it's coming, 8 degrees.
Guys, we are live on FB right now.
Okay.
Okay, wow. So I'm just going to do the introduction. Now, to all viewers who are viewing us right now, good morning. And we will start sharp at 10, 5 more minutes. Meanwhile, please like and share this video with everyone that you know. And we will start at 10, yeah?
Oh, okay. I think accounting, good. You can turn on your Facebook and look at UCSI College. Then you can see that.
I can see that.
But then, as long as you don't switch on the volume, then or else you have the echo.
Right. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, I think the line is quite stable for at this moment. Roshini, you are in the campus?
No, I'm at home.
No, they're at home. Yeah, because I'm trying to look at the line stability. Like yesterday, we have a little bit of unstable line.
So Ms. Umaima now is in the campus today. Probably she can let us know the feedback.
Okay, I'm in campus. I'm using my 4G internet access, and now I'll be looking at how Umaima side. So far, so good, right, Umaima? Your
Yes. If you can hear me, 1, 2, 3, it's very good.
No lagging, no nothing, yeah.
Not lagging for now, but just now got a little bit of distraction. But hopefully, I'm going to move.
Give me your my feedback on my connection as well, because I'm doing 4G here, and then Umaima is using the campus capabilities uploading, and now of course we have far away Mr. Zaman, which is like we are testing your US connectivity as well.
Yeah.
And to compare Malaysia and US, check on my connection as well. Because I'm doing 4G here, and then
I think it's Ken.
Is it Ken or?
And of course we have far away Zaman. I think one
Ken,
volume.
him. Yeah.
It's like a radio thing, the delay. Yeah. Is it?
Is that okay, Roshini?
Yeah, I know. I think it's coming from Ken's side. So I just told him to mute his microphone, because I think it's echoing from the recording.
All right.
Okay.
1 more minute, guys.
Okay.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Now, to all viewers at home right now, thank you so much for joining in with us. Please stay tuned until 11 o'clock today. And today, we are going to talk about everything about accounting. And with that, those who are back to work, please stay safe. And those who are at home, you can tune in with us until 11 o'clock. I'm your live forum host for today. My name is Roshini. And okay, let's introduce our speakers. We have Ms. Umaima, the head of program for accounting from UCSI College. We have Ms. Ashley, our current student who's doing diploma in accounting.
Hi,
We
everyone.
have Dr.
Hello.
Chong, VP Academics from UCSI College. And last but not least, we have Mr. Sho Zaman, all the way from USA. Now, brief introduction about Mr. Sho. He studied in UK. He's from Bangladesh, by the way, and he grew up in the UK, studied in the UK. He came to Malaysia. He taught ACCA in our very own Lux International College, and then 2016 he settled in the USA, currently in Chicago, working with the Big Four at Ernst & Young's as the tax advisor. Good morning, Mr. Zaman.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much joining us all the way from USA. Really appreciate it, Mr. Zaman.
Absolute pleasure.
All right. Okay, let's start off with Miss Umaima.
Yes.
Tell us everything about accounting.
Oh, okay. Accounting. Hi, good morning, viewers. Okay, everyone. So I good to back live safety, even though it's not a physical. Okay. I'm the accounting head of program. So basically, when the students come to us, it's actually accounting because some of the students is non-accounting students. So when they ask me like that, I just say that it's keeping track of your daily stuff. For example, that you have a money in that you receive from your parents, how you spend your money. So this is like a simplest way that I can say to the students keeping track of your stuff, which is we can divide into a 5 main areas. Like example, that things that you own, that money that you spend, money that you receive, and how you're going to spend it, and overall income of your work. So that is like a very brief about accounting that I can share with the students. That is from my side, okay, because I'm an educator. So maybe speakers have different view of accounting theory.
Okay, sure. Mr. Sho, do you want to add in? Tell us everything about accounting.
If you see the accounting, the word itself, last 8 words it says about counting, right? So it's kind of all about counting. There's a lot of numbers involved, so you have to have a good passion about the numbers. But it's just not the numbers as well. It's a lot of standards. So same like the law degree, there's like a lot of rules and regulations. Accounting comes with a lot of standards as well, which is accounting standards, right? The other thing I would say about the accounting is it's in a really high demand. And this is one of the subjects, I guess, like always will be in high demand. As long as there are businesses out there, as long as there are finance companies out there, you need accounting. They would need accounting. And it's in a high demand. So the reason actually I personally studied accounting is it's because of the demand. I was told that, there would be a lot of job prospects out there when I graduated and all that. And it never failed me. Since I graduated, and I've been in many countries, of course in UK, I've been in Malaysia, now in the States here. I've been working in many different companies, and I guess there's always a demand. No one asked me about you studied in UK, the differences. What I'm trying to say is it's kind of all the same here, right? So you studied accounting, and wherever you go in the world, that will bring you with a good job prospects.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sho. To all viewers, you can leave your questions in the comment section below, yeah, and we'll get the speakers to answer your questions. Now, Dr. Chong, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I resonate what
Mr. Sho.
Mr. Shaw or Ms. Zaman said. I think I'm quite used to Mr. Zaman now.
Okay, sure.
I guess I'll go
Mr. Zaman it is then.
I'll go with Zaman. I guess in Malaysia I was known by Zaman, and I love the name, to be honest.
And then also Umaima has mentioned. Just want to add on that as far as accounting is concerned, I look at it as long as there is business and economic activity. Accountants are the one who first form the company for the owner and employer and work along it. And you know that when you want to close the company, accountant is the last one to leave. Okay, so if you go look at
very good point.
Yes, if you look at employability, we are maybe the first few person who will be employed, and then will be the last person you will get rid of, because we have to close your account and even close the company. If you don't want to close your company, and then that's it, it will haunt the employer forever. Okay, because you have to do the final filing, and accountant will be the last one to leave the company.
Absolutely.
So that is where, if you look at stability of job.
Right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chong.
Just want to add a little bit on that.
Yes, Mr. Zaman.
In terms of the work, I guess there wouldn't be any shortage of work at all. Even though, like, if I just look at our current situations, the COVID-19, the pandemic here, everything is locked down. We're staying from home, but there is no shortage of work. I'm working in a big four, of course, working from home. We have clients from all over the country. So there's a lot of remote work. We just finished our tax season here in the States, which is pretty big, starting from January to April, the whole 4 months. It's a tax season. There are plenty of works always, whether you go to office or whether you don't go to office, is still work coming in. And nowadays, the technology brings everything together. We're working everything remotely, we holding our meetings through Zoom and, through different the tech softwares. So, wherever you are, I guess, you can just always do the work as long as you know what to do, as long as you're connected with your team. So I guess it can be far from anywhere. And if you're like, doing a consultancy, I guess it's always like you're on the phone, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. Now, okay, I have a question for Ashley. You're currently studying with UCSI College, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you tell our prospect students or students who are interested in accounting? Why study accounting?
Okay, first of all, I wasn't interested in accounting at all when I was in high school, even though I entered account class. I used to slack around and not giving any effort in my studies, especially for principal accountant. And because all along I always thought myself as an art student or to be a fashion designer in the future. But later on, I was convinced by my dad to be realistic in life. Asian parents do. So then something personal happened. I changed my mindset to a new perspective and look at life with a different angle. So after that, I got my inspirations and motivation from the Rothschild family and from the Forbes magazine. So that is how I started to grow my interest in about figures and getting involved to the corporate world. And at the same time, knowing that having the accounting knowledge, it can bring you to places and to allow you to have options for your career. So that's why I choose to study accounting.
Okay.
Ashley, I guess great job. And just want to add a little bit on that.
Yes, Mr. Zaman.
There are options. I would say there are endless options.
Talk to us more about the options. Opportunities, Mr. Zaman. What are the opportunities like worldwide? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, as I was just saying, so there are endless opportunities. Earlier on, I just mentioned that you can actually basically work anywhere in the world, right? Me sitting here in the United States, I can perform works, from any countries. Get in like outsourcing works, get a lot of consultancy work. So that's just for the accountants. But then there are auditors out there. If you want to go to the auditing professions, there are taxes specifically. You want to go in the tax sections. There are government companies out there, right? If you want to work out for the governments, their accounting departments, and there are a lot of multinational companies, and every single company has to have an accounting office there, of course. Other than that, there are a lot of public accounting firms throughout the world, right? So there are tons of opportunities, I guess, in terms of the careers. So I guess you'll never be bored with one kind of things. And I see my friends and a lot of like the people I graduated with, they're always switching fields sometimes. Like they do like 5-6 years in auditing, and then they don't like it. They're going like in taxing. So they don't like taxes, so they just want to go like in a private companies, like working for the airlines in their finance departments, becoming a CFO. for the company. It's like tons of other opportunities, and as well as there are banking industry there as well. So a lot of my friends, I guess, they went to investment banking sites. They're working for the equity fund companies. So there are like tons of opportunities. You just need to find the right one. What do you want it to be? What do you want it to do? Of course, you need to find your interest as well. What interests you more. I'm sure, like, throughout your career, when you're trying to figure out and you're studying, I'm sure at some point you'll figure out that what you want to be and what you want to do.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. Dr. Chong, do you want to add in?
What he says is fantastic. Actually, throughout my career as an accountant and later on in the academic life, I see one major things that accounting program did to society. Yeah, I experienced a lot of people life has been transformed because of accounting program. I have a lot of friends from poor family, very poor family. Just one or two of them become accountants and establish accounting firm. And you look at the second and third generations of their life, it totally changed and transformed. And accounting program is one of the less costly program for someone to start their career and change their entire life. I have during my time when I worked in like what do you call that, Mr. Zaman and Umama, when you guys work in accounting area, I know a lot of bosses who are partner of firms. And if you look at their background, and you will understand that, wow, they transform their family actually. They will tell you that I'm the first one who graduated in accounting and it transformed the entire life. And that is how powerful accounting program is actually.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yes. Let me add it on that.
Yes, Ms. Umaima.
Yes, thinking about the situation currently right now, it's basically the account.
Umaima, your mic have to go a bit soft.
A little bit loud.
Okay.
A little bit because the mic. Yeah.
Okay, so basically because accounting right now is a very highly demand from every industry. So every industry actually demanded for the accounting. Even if the cloud accounting is the remote, like what Mr. Zaman said, or physical accountant is everywhere. All the business need that. So I think the accounting perspective, the field will never die. So that is a very good for the students to enroll into accounting program.
Thank
absolutely. Ms. Krishna, let me just add one point. I just I remember, and I feel like I really wanted to mention that because this is kind of one of my great interests as well. So we're not talking about the career opportunities or the other options, right, guys? Not to forget, the teaching profession is out there. Teaching profession is such a big profession, and I personally love teaching so much. I love educating people, and this is why I chose at the beginning of my career. I chose teaching professions. I taught in UK in the private schools and colleges, as well as in Malaysia. The reason I went to Malaysia so that I can teach as well, and probably also in the future I will try to explore a lot more in the teaching industry. So like, if you don't like any of those, and if you like teaching people, you can always go out there and educate people, and work as a lecturer or the professor, right? Other points I would say is about the salary. The reason we work harder, and the reason I guess a lot of people they wanted to choose the accounting profession, it's the money at the end of the day. That's what we all looking for at the end of the day. That what you're bringing in. So I guess salary, it's always is on the rise, right? A good accountant, well, that all depends on the skills and experiences and the certifications that you have. But considering you have good amount of decent educations and skills, I guess there is plenty of room to make a lot of money.
I want to add on what Ashley said as well. At one point, his parents says that let's get real, the real skill. Actually, that is a very, very practical thing. Yeah, I know studying accounting is not easy. All right, it needs a lot of dedication and discipline. And I always tell a lot of students is that if you go to a course that you make yourself very happy and you play around in the university, and then I tell you what, when you get out, you may have a little bit of challenges. Okay, but when you study hard, when a lot of people don't want to study and you go and study, and that is one thing, you already eliminate your competitor from the beginning.
Correct.
By the
Correct.
time you reach your job market, you already acquire a skill that they cannot have. An accountant, like what Mr. Zaman says, can go to other field, but other field cannot come to accounting. And that is already a competitive advantage.
Correct. Yeah, I have so much room to move around. You know, I can go to the teaching. I can go like doing auditing. And if I want to, I can go doing tax. If I want to, I can go and just work for private companies if I want to. You know, there's just so much room to move around. You just don't have to get stuck in one.
Agree. Accountants never worry about job. It's whether what you want to do.
Right. I mean, I've been blessed. I guess I would say, you know, all the countries that I've been to, I never had to think about so much about the job. Back in UK, you know, like I was in teaching profession as well as doing the accounting works in the CPA firms there. When I went to Malaysia, when I came back in the United States here, so there are plenty of jobs. I've been, you know, working for a lot of different companies. I never had to worry about. I mean, I would say probably I'm just blessed. You know, I'm not that a smart guy, but it's just probably, you know, everything is working out for me.
Mr. Zaman, I have a question. What do you think about the Cgpa? Does that matter?
Sorry, can you say that again?
How about Cgpa? Does that matter for the accounting students?
Oh, you're saying GPA?
Yeah. Cgpa.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, it's always matter. It's important, of course. Like back in UK, I guess, you know, we call it 2-1, like 2:1. So they want to have their in the bachelor degrees, you know, they want to get it. They want to see that you have at least 2:1, because which tells you that, you know, how much the credits that you got, you know, like what kind of students you were. So that's kind of an entry requirement for a lot of companies as well. I mean, I guess back in the States, I don't know what do they look for in terms of GPS. I guess minimum is 3. That's what they look for. So this is kind of an entry requirement for a lot of big firms, you know, when you go for go and apply for jobs.
Yes, and I think also the market right now, besides GPA, they're also looking into the interpersonal skills and also how well they are using the IT in terms of technology, right? The students now need to, you know, equip with the technology. It doesn't mean like accounting at all. So right now, even for all the programs.
Yeah, now with that, what I would say, well, I mean, the world is getting smarter day by day, right? And as us, right, like we have to be smarter as well. Like we have to get along with the way the technology is moving together, bringing the whole world together. So I would say that, you know, we always have to, like, you know, acquire new skills, like, you know, get used to using the technology, get familiar with that. So, you know, I guess the better we are, the better we have the chance to secure better jobs as well. So there is always a competition, you know. So I'm not really saying to whoever you're listening that, you know, it's one of the best profession. It is actually, but then it also depends that what you make out of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's a true story. So maybe some of my friends or some of the people that I know, they do have a great education. They studied, you know, they have that ACCA or CPA, they have the chartered accountant degree, they got an MBA, but sometimes still they're struggling finding a job. Now you might say, oh, okay, this person studied accounting, but still, why can't he get a job? I mean, it all depends that, you know, what you have to offer to the company, right? I do have the education doesn't mean that probably I can do all, or, you know, like your interpersonal skill, your communication skills, your skills in technology,
true.
your skill that how you present, you know, how to maintain relationship. There's so many other factors comes in as well. And this is why I meant that we also have to be literally smarter, you know, be open to learn new things, not just, say, I have the education that I can get anything I want. Maybe, but maybe not as well, because is there's so much competition out there. And day by day, our unemployment rate is going higher and a lot of people getting out of job. So obviously to be the best, of course, I guess you have to be, you have to be the best and you need to learn more and more.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. That's really insightful. Now, no problem. Now, our viewers who are with us right now, you can share this video, like this video. You can drop in your questions in the comment section and we'll get the speakers to answer you. And
Can I add on to what
Sure, Dr. Chong. I have a question from Dr. Mabel, but you go on first, then after
good. No, you can start with the question. I think that would be good.
Okay, okay, sure. So, Mr. Zaman, actually, Dr. Mabel, our CEO, she said, "Hi, Zaman. So good to see you here. I have a question that is asked very often. With default IR and AI, some say accountants will be the first to be replaced. What is your comment?"
Great question, Dr. Mabel. Thank you for joining us here. Yeah, it's been a pleasure actually. I guess we haven't spoken for a while now, but thank you for watching us here. To answer your questions about the AI, I would not say. I mean, okay, let me put it this way.
Okay.
I don't think accountant would be replaceable. This is what I believe. And the reason I believe it's, I work from smaller firms and now obviously I work for one of the big fours, right? And what the big fours does, I guess they spend millions and millions on AIs, on technologies, so, on the automated systems, because we have clients, they have businesses for millions and billion-dollar businesses. So the complexity of the work is so high that we need to use a lot of technologies, a lot of AI stuff in there. But we need a lot of accounting as well to interpret those data to the clients, right? So the clients, they don't understand all those information. They give you the information, but they need to make a decision. And you are the accountant who will help them to make the decisions, to interpret the data and all that.
Yep.
So
true.
AI is really helping us to do a lot of works. The work that used to take days, we can do it a couple of hours. But at the same time, work is getting more challenging as well. The type of work is getting more complexer, and there's a lot of complexity coming in. There's a lot of subsidiaries. There's a lot of mergers and acquisition happening throughout the world. So we also need to spend more time understanding and analyzing those data. So I guess accountant works together with AI. I wouldn't say the AI can replace them, but then I guess we actually work together better. That's what I would say. We are better together.
Thank you, Mr. Zaman. Dr. Chong, you wanted to say something just now.
Yeah, I just want to relate to what Mr. Zaman said earlier about the students' employability and how some of the students, when they graduate, they may find themselves a little bit challenging when looking for a job, because you have to look at these training perspective during their university or college time, where a lot of time when we teach accounting, it's just not accounting alone. You have to be able to communicate, group presentation, group skill. Sometimes some accountants, future accountants, come to us. They say, "Can I do this assignment alone myself? Do you know what is the consequences of doing alone? You can't find a job later." Because you need to relate to people. It's not just you alone. And how about IT? I don't like IT. I like accounting, but not IT. But then you just heard what Mr. Zaman says. AI is so important, and you need that skill. And this is the holistic things that through education, all the program and courses is so important. Then relate to what Mama says, is Cgpa important? When we have a less good Cgpa, then you reflect to employers that, okay, you are good in this area, you are not good in that area. So the whole package of that particular graduate have to be present to the employer. And you may be one may be very good in accounting skill, but lack in communication skill, then it may have that package and to earn bigger salary. But then maybe you can enter the firm lower salary, but when you want to climb further up to the stairs ladders, it's tough. Then the training have to be start from day one during the undergrad Yeah, day one, not do it, and oh, now I realize that I have to study this, but it's too late. But then you have
Right,
to move
right,
on.
right.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I guess yeah, you're right on that. You know, when you're saying that the higher you go, right? So the better communication there has to be, is because you know, when you're becoming a partner, so when you're becoming a managing partners for the companies, like for like big fours there, right? So all the partners, they are mainly dealing with the big those businesses, right? Those corporations, right? So there's a lot of communications. They need to present so much stuff. We as an accountant, we're doing the work, right? We providing it to our partners, and our partners is taking to the business owners, right? So they are the one, of course, like putting the work at front and convincing the clients. So so when there's a promotions at some point, probably one day, you know, when you become a partner, you have to do those works, right? So this is why it's so important from the beginning.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zaman. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the question, Dr. Mabel. And Dr. Mabel replied, Mr. Zaman, she said, thanks, Zaman. Good answer there. Thumbs up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Happy to have that.
Sure, no problem, Mr. Zaman. Now, to all viewers with us right now, you can put in your questions in the comment section. Yeah, we'll get all the speakers to actually answer you. Now, with that, I have a question. Right. Maybe I'll ask Mr. Zaman. Okay. Mr. Zaman. Okay. If I plan to actually start looking for a job after I finish my degree in accounting, let's say, okay, would it be enough or additional achievements are required, like the ACCA, or should I get a master's? Also, yeah, between ACCA and masters, which one? What is would be advisable?
Okay, so let me answer your the first part.
Yeah, if yeah, okay. Sure.
So what kind of skills that I need to take or need to get, you know, before I apply for jobs, right? While I'm studying. Okay. Well, I would say it's always better. This is what I did when I was a student. I was always kind of keep looking for opportunities, you know, keep looking to learn new things, because as I mentioned earlier, I know that world is getting more challenging day by day. I know there's a competitions out there. You know, I need to compete so many people, and the bigger firm I go to, the more challenges it would be, right? So this is why I would suggest that while you're studying, while everything is fresh on your head, you know, all the topics and everything, I guess it's always better to invest a little bit of time, you know, learning some softwares. Like, you know, there's a lot of accounting softwares, there are payroll softwares. You can always like kind of, you know, have some, spend some time, you know, getting those kind of things, maybe an internship to start with, you know, while you're studying. A lot of big firms, you know, they offer internship for this college graduates. You won't get that internship, you know, when you are fully qualified. So sometimes it's very difficult, because I am like fully qualified accountant and I have to start from the scratch. This is very hard. Actually, I kind of struggled that a little bit because there was no one there for me to advise me what to do. Yeah. When I was studying, I was just being myself, you know. A lot of my families, they are not accountant. So I didn't really know what to do. But I struggled later in my life, because when I did my ACCA, I got fully qualified as an ACCA. And then I started looking for a job as a starter. And then I was struggling a little bit, because they're saying, oh, you are like overqualified. I said, how can I be overqualified? You know, I just like, I wanted to get a job, like, you know, wanted to start and, you know, like have the learning experience. But they said that because I already have an ACCA, you know, so the level I am, the salary range that they have to offer me, which is not for the starter job. But I said, I don't need that much salary. But they said, no, I'm sorry. Like, we can't really break the chain. So a lot of big firms, they follow the chain, you know, like based on the qualification that you have, they will have to offer you a certain salary, right? So that would have been better when I was studying, if I would have done some internships, you know, if I already started working, you know, for a smaller firm, so whatever companies that you're working for, as long as there is some working knowledge there, that always helps. That can take you actually 2 steps higher. So once you graduate and you have a little bit of experience, you don't have to look back.
I totally agree with what you say. Actually, I have the same experience as well. As an accountant, you have to really start from the bottom. That is the best. Don't go and start in the middle, because then you don't build your foundation right. You start from the bottom, start with bookkeeping. Start with bookkeeping. It may sound boring, bookkeeping, but
I mean,
that
I
is
guess,
the
Dr.
basic.
Chung, you probably have to at that point because
Yes.
the foundations that you need, right? So without those
Yes,
foundations, you
exactly.
won't be able to.
Yeah. Then as we go as we progress, and suddenly you sound. I remember as I progress, I remember all these foundations that I have learned earlier become an asset to me. And those who
Correct.
without that foundation may struggle and may suggest to client something not practical at all at the end of the day.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a
To
very
answer your
practical vocational profession actually, to a
Yeah,
certain
that's-
extent. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just realized that I did not answer your second part of the question.
Yeah, whether
ACCA.
masters, ACCA. I'll go on to I'll ask Ms. Umaima later about the difference of ACCA, CIPFA, and all those. But now, if a student were to come to us and ask if ACCA is better or should I do my masters, which one would you recommend, Mr.
Okay.
Zaman? Yeah.
It's a great question, and it's a great career advice you need as well, right? I'll give my personal opinions. A lot of
Sure.
people, they might have their own opinions there.
Sure.
I would say get a both. And let me tell you, and there is an easy way of getting a both. You know, as I said, so earlier on, the accounting is a profession. It's worldwide, right? So think about this way. I do have my bachelor degree from UK, and now I'm doing my US CPA here. The one thing to know, the the United States, for some reason, they don't accept a lot of UK degrees. I don't know why. So I had to go through my CPS again. But they kind of gave me the whole exemptions. So they need that 150 credits, right? So 150 credits means is your master's degree. So based on my educations in UK, so they gave me the 150 credits, so which I already have kind of a master, so I can actually go for my CPA. But to answer your question, it's if you're doing ACCA, it would be so much easier for you to do a master's or MBA. You know why? It's because a lot of UK universities, as well as a lot of universities in like globally, like let me talk about Malaysia. Right, so like UCSI, so you guys do have that 3+1 that degree, right?
3+0.
Sorry, 3+0, right? So that like you can get there Oxford Brookes University, right? So I don't know if you know, but the Oxford Brookes also work with ACCA. So if you get Oxford Brookes degree, so once you get your full Oxford Brookes bachelor degree, you get a 9-paper exemption from ACCA.
Yes, correct,
right?
Correct.
So now if you choose to go to ACCA, that's fine. You already got a 9-paper exemption. So you got to do another like 15 papers now, I guess. When I was doing it, that was 14 papers. So you need to do another 5 or 6 papers. If you become a ACCA, if you finish those courses, you can easily jump to MBA. You know why? Oxford Brookes also works with those qualifications. Once you are fully chartered accountant, fully ACCA, you will get an exemptions as well. So you might probably need to do only 1 or 2 papers. So spending about 6 months, you can get an MBA degree. UK-based MBA degree. So that's what it works. So if you have an ACCA, it's so easy to get an MBA because you just don't have to go through a whole 1 year or 1.5 years to 2 years course. You just need to do like a couple of papers. You're going to get a lot of exemptions.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. Ms. Umaima or Dr. Chong, do you all want to add in? Probably Ashley, if you want to add in anything as well.
Actually,
yeah.
it's okay. Just proceed.
Yeah, about the question about looking for a job after degree in accounting. I mean, yes, you can look for a job with a degree in accounting, but I personally think that it would be better to further achievement by achieving a recognition from the accounting professional bodies like ACCA, CIMA, ICAEW, or CPA, because nowadays the accounting jobs in the realm of commercial sector has evolved to be very competitive. So I suggest,
I absolutely agree.
yeah, better to achieve further. And for the other one, getting a professional certificate like ACCA, it is better to than to continue masters in accounting. Because in my opinion, I did some research because studying ACCA, the duration it's like faster and shorter compared to the masters in accounting. And for another reason, because ACCA is a leading international accountancy body, and it's actually equivalent and has always recognized globally and is treated in other countries as being equivalent to their local qualification. So which means taking the professional level in ACCA is actually equivalent to a master degree.
That's correct. Yes, actually, I got that confirmation when I was studying. So the ACCA, the part 2, which is up to 9 paper, it considered as a UK bachelor degree. And when you finish full 14 or 15 papers, that considered as a UK-based master's degree. And I'm sure, like, so the same thing happens here as well in the United States. So based on those papers that I finished, so they gave me kind of 150 credits, which is a master's level.
Yeah. Yeah, I did my master degree in accounting as well, and I finished my CPA degree, 5 papers, and get exemptions for some papers, 2 papers actually.
Right.
Out of the, I think about 7 or 8 papers, there are 2 papers exempted. Then continue with the study. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So. Right. Yeah. So there's like one little point. So because I'm like here, I do have Canada is like very close, right? So so some of my friends, they settle in Canada. So Canada is like fully ACCA. So the same way, once you become a fully ACCA, if you want to settle down in Canada, you can get their CPA or CGA. They call both, which is Canadian General Accountant and Canadian certified chartered public accountant. Right, so you can just easily go there, like switch your CPA degree.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. On that note, and now all viewers with us, kindly you can leave your questions in the comment section below, and we'll get the speakers to answer you. And okay. I think I can ask this to even Dr. Chong, probably Ms. Umaima and Mr. Zaman. How hard is ACCA or CPA when we talk about? Because common questions all parents and students, when I tell them, okay, because most of them come to us and then they'll be like, okay, we do our diploma, we want to do your degree, and then how many exemptions? So we tell them 9, right? And then they'll be like, okay, ACCA, how hard?
Let me hear from Dr. Chong.
Yeah, it's very challenging sometimes to pass a professional paper. It's a lot of focus and concentrations needed, to be a professional accountant. When we say professional, it's a serious thing to a professional body. You have to be qualified, and when you become a professional accountant, we better know what we are talking about, and especially the client seeking advice, and you are carrying the name of ACCA, carrying the name of CPA Australia, carry the name of ICAW, and that is serious things. That it is like a medical doctors. When you give advice, you are putting the entire profession at stake. Okay, not only you.
That's correct.
So that's why that professional body is very serious when they want to pass somebody to be associated with them. They don't want to associate with the crook or anyone who are not qualified. So it becomes so tough. And we see it, but they have something to protect, a profession to protect. So in order to be a professional, study well in your accounting degree, make sure that all these standards that has been given to you, you really understand why is it for. And if we associate all this with the current issues that are happening throughout the world, especially the fraud cases and all this, and why it is being incorporated into the syllabus, like integrities and ethics, all this, and then it is in the exam of a professional body, and they want to test all of us, like, do you know what is independence all about? If we don't understand it, cannot relate, then of course I don't want to associate with this kinds of accountant as well. It's like, okay, you don't even understand what is independence from the accounting point of view, and then you are now an accountant. It's like, wow, it's very scary, right? So I think all this is very important, that all accountants, the future accountant, to be able to resonate with and proceed in their life. But anyway, professional body is a body that we respect. and that is the key backbone of all our all accountants in the world. If that professional collapse, I think we're gonna have a serious problem as an accountant. So they are protecting the benefit of the entire society of accountants, community of accountants, and as a result, I think that particular exam is not easy. But then I didn't directly answer your question. But then if you look at the failure rate to a certain extent is quite high sometimes.
Yes.
Quite sad, and then saying that, oh, why it make it so hard? But I think it relates to changing of the mindset of someone in the normal society, that okay, you are coming to this profession, this is the role model of this association, please come to the standards.
Yeah,
please
absolutely.
bring yourself to the standard. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I can add a couple of points.
Sure, Mr. Zaman.
I guess what I would say, as Dr. Chang, you mentioned that they're standing out, right? So every person, who comes, who have ACCA qualifications, they kind of stands out from all other candidates. So that is a very key point. So if you want to be like stand out from the crowds, right? If you want to make your face known to the public, so that's kind of one of the things. Yes, it is harder, but to me, that what I would say the motivation would be, the harder it is, the more demanding you would be. And who doesn't want that, right? I want to be demanding in the market. So of course, like Dr. Chang mentions, it sounds like your doctors, like, we need the medical degrees and all that. Yes. So that's a medical field, but this is an accounting field. And this is why the exams are a little difficult. And every, what I would say, every hard work pays off, right? So the amount of hours that you put in the study, maybe like, you put in double hours, you failing some of the exams sometimes. It happens. I failed, right? And there is no shame about that. But at the end of the day, when you finish those qualifications, when you become a chartered accountant at the end of the day, that's the only thing people look for. It doesn't matter that how many times you fail, right? I don't have to, there's no one is telling.
Actually,
you're right.
Yes, to edit on Mr. Zaman's point, to protect and also Dr. Chong, to protect the quality of ACCA, they're actually having a passing rates for all the graduates, for all the candidates that taking the ACCA. So the passing rate actually is important for them to protect their quality of professional body. So at certain level of papers, ACCA, for example, like a professional paper, the passing rate is very high. So actually for them to release the students to just pass for 50 marks, for example, is not, they cannot. They must get at least 80 or 90 marks. Then only they can pass the professional paper. So that is mainly of the quality ACCA and all other professional bodies that is looking into a very quality graduate.
Here is the one good thing, one other point that I wanted to mention. So,
yes, Mr. Zan.
Ms. Ma, you mentioned that ACCA, the pass mark is 50%. Thanks God, right? It's great. But, like, what's the pass mark for US CPA? 75.
Yeah.
So it's,
I'm going for the exam. 75 is like so hard to get. Is because if you miss one tiny little things, right, it just gets below 75. The one other good things nowadays, the things has changed. When I was doing the exams, probably when Dr. Chong was writing the exams, there was all paper-based. This means it's 3.5 hours or 4 hours exam. You need to write everything. Like 4 hours, keep writing. It's so hard. It's so hard to write, all those stuff. But now it's become computer-based. So
okay.
So I guess it's whole computer-based now. You do 3 hours exam, but then it's a lot of multiple choice questions. There's a lot of case study, like kind of task-based simulation type exams, questions. So it's pretty challenging, but it's pretty nice as well that you don't have to write like all 3 hours for the like the law, the business law when you need to write, like the auditing papers when you have to write. There's no numbers. You just need to keep writing, and sometimes it's like hard.
Okay.
And never underestimate the salary options, right? And as I said, like I mentioned this before, the money is the motivation at the end of the day, right? When I was talking about you want to stand out, but you want to stand out with like, having a good profession, good salary that you make. So when someone is having the same degree from somewhere else and someone is having a professional qualification always pays more. It's same is because it's harder.
Yes.
Because it's harder, this is why it's more demanding. And once you have it, so of course, like your salary will differ from other people, whoever is coming in with a general degree.
Yeah, from a broader view, then for Ashley, for her advantage is that as you go along, you are eliminating your competitors.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So
but from day one,
you have the UCSI have the better like you have the great the course there, right? With Oxford Brookes degree. So Oxford Brookes has a partnership with ACCA. So I guess whoever is getting their degree done from Oxford Brookes, they can straight jump into ACCA probably.
Exactly.
And
That is exactly why we bring in Oxford Brookes in Malaysia.
So get about
people like,
get 9 or 10 paper exemption. It's almost done. You're almost there.
Yeah, and then you can do your master degree just 6 months, like when you mentioned, and then proceed on.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the beauty.
Ashley, so do you still want to go on to ACCA after hearing all this?
Of course.
I'll definitely say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no other substitute that is studying hard, right? I mean, let me be honest. Let me be honest. If you wanna take the shortcut road, maybe you might go somewhere, but at some point you'll have to stop because that shortcut roads you wouldn't really take you further down.
Yeah.
Right? But so when you're taking that harder step, so that means like you're building your foundations, right? And you putting yourself in the markets, you becoming more demanding to the employers, right? So yes, I know it's harder. There's a chances of failings, but it's not impossible. Hundreds and thousands and millions of people all over the world is doing it, right? So if other people can do it, why can't I? I guess if every one of us, if we just keep asking that questions, if people can do it, and there are people like me, why can't I do it? Maybe I'm not the smarter. Maybe I'm not the smarter. Okay, but I might need to put a little more hours than them. Right?
Yes.
More hours and focus.
Right. Yes. And there's nothing harm to putting a little more hours at the end of the day if we know that what you're gonna get out of it.
My professor used to say this: no one study and until they die. It's kind of like work hard and you die. No, there's no one study and die. Don't worry, continue to study hard, and success is waiting for all the people who are working hard actually.
Right.
At the end
you just need to find a good mentor. I guess mentor is very, very important, right? So many of us, we really wanted to study a lot, right? We have the motivation, we have the passion, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes, if we don't choose the right institute to study with, if we don't get a good mentor, right, then it kind of gets a little harder. But then, having with all those people by your side, your lecturers, your institutions, and all, of course, like all other extracurriculum activities, they offer, combining all together, I guess, is gonna help you go a long way. And I'm sure UCSI college, they have everything in place. They've been trying really, really hard. I've been there. I see I saw those things, and I wish you all the best, of course.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. Thank you so much. Now, all our viewers viewing us until now, you may leave your questions in the comment section below, and we'll get the speakers to answer you. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Now, probably I can ask Miss Umaima. Miss, how is it that accounting can be one of the jobs which are recession-proof during this economic downturn that we're currently going to face?
Great question.
Sure. Okay, I believe that for the accounting job is a very stable into their industry itself. It's a very strong skill that will never be collapsed even there is a recession. So for the accounting, I believe we keep going. There is like, for example, like Mr. Zaman already practicing a remote accountant. So basically, he can do at he look at his home without having any problems that recession will come in hit him. So it's basically, I don't see that the accounting will go into the recession. It's more into how well accounting can be consistent into this period of time. So that I think that accounting will never go down into the recession. So I think yes.
All right, and thank you so much, Ms. Umaima. Dr. Chong, would you like to add on?
Actually, let's
sorry.
Mr. Zaman to go on.
Yes, Mr. Zaman.
Go on.
You go on now. Sorry, I heard you mentioned my name. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Please, Zaman.
It's fine, Mr. Zaman. You can go on.
Okay. Okay. So let's be real. I would not say that accounting would be the only best thing, right? Because, like, to be honest, there's no job in this country or no career can be recession-proof, right? If market hits really harder, everyone at some point, like, we might get affected a little bit. But having said that, I would say accounting would be the next best thing, would have a recession-proof. Ms. Umaima just touched base, right? Why? It's because of the flexibility that you have, because of how globalized this career is, and as well as like by adding a little bit of extra other qualifications like your professional qualification like CPA, ACCA, or like any other, it makes you a really great candidate in the market. So, and I would say it's, the accounting is a very versatile profession, right? So like, maybe like some of the sides, like even if getting people downsize sometimes, right? Even though they downsize, so there's a lot of other opportunities to pick up some works, right? You might offer yourself as a consultant to the other companies, right? So you can work as an independent contractor, which is a self-employed. You can have your own businesses, working side by side. So there's like a lot of other varieties that you can choose to, depending on your skill set, right? But yes, surely I would say this is one of the next best thing that that you can have, which there will always be in demand. There will always be in need of accountants. Let me put you one data that I recently found out from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. They mentioned that there would be a 10% growth in accountants and auditors in between like 2016 to 2026. So there is a like always in high number like growth.
Yeah. Actually, as you guys, as Mr. Zaman is
Dr.
looking
Chong,
at the figure.
Sorry, we can't see you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the figure as well.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
That's why maybe the line switch off to a certain extent. Yes.
Okay, sure.
Actually, as Mr. Zaman talked about the rates of in US, actually I'm reviewing one of the paper earlier, and finance industry in Malaysia has the lowest lost job during COVID-19 MCO period. And that is actually one of the articles has been, published lately. And you see, finance and accounting area, when we look at the term that actually Rosini you mentioned just now is what the
recession-proof.
Recession-proof.
Yeah.
You see, the data has proven itself over and over so many times. At this current moment, as US data and also Malaysian data reflects that this profession is really recession-proof.
Right. Dr. Chang, I guess, I guess we are the one who do like cost-benefit analysis, right, for the companies, which means, right, we tell them like, how much is going to cost them and what are the benefits, right, for the companies. So in other words, like we kind of saving them money by giving those numbers, by working for them in a way, by doing those cost and budget analysis, right? Trying to figure out what would be the most efficient way to do the businesses. So I guess we are the one who kind of, giving them those numbers, giving those statistics, right? So I guess they need us at that point.
Yeah, actually what you say just now is about big data in a confinement of a company. So all accountants have these data that they are the best person who have all this data to advise the employer. And when big data's so-called the big name is being crafted by in the industry, I always relate that, hey, I thought that I have done that before, but now you are looking at the bigger picture of big data of the whole industry or the whole world. But during our accounting career during that time, we already have all those data. In fact, salespeople have their data. I have, but we accountants have able to accumulate all those data already at that point of time.
Yeah, we put them together. We tell them what are the returns, what are the percentages for the efficiency for individual departments, and so I guess that's.
In fact, we should be championing big data, but then overtaken by IT because they have the tools. But we have been practicing this long time.
IT is definitely helping us. IT is definitely helping us, and I guess we definitely need IT alongside us as well. Without them, we won't be able to do much. As I said, there are things that it'll take days and days, right, and to figure out. But with the help of IT, of course, I guess everything is getting quicker and easier.
That's why IT and accounting actually work hand in hand and become more efficient, more effective as we work. In fact, it is not reducing our job, but bring our job to a next high value job. To give more effective decisions and be more appreciative rather than working day and night, gathering data, which computer can be done, and employer will think that, hey, why are you so busy? And there is no value added.
And actually enhance the capability of the accounting staff.
Sure. Yes, definitely.
I think IT and accountants must work together.
For sure.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much to all our speakers. All right. We got approximately 3 minutes left. Yep. Time flies. Now, I think we don't have any questions from the floor yet. So to all viewers, if you all still have questions, you all may put it down in the comment section below. But okay, I'm just going to squeeze in 2 small questions. Now to Ashley, if a student wouldn't, we have Form 4, Form 5, right? Let's say if they do not take accounting subject, Form 4 and then Form 5, can they still continue with the diploma in accounting?
Yeah, can. You can still study accounting after your high school, even though they did not took the accounting subject in high school. As long as you have the basic knowledge of mathematics, then it will do.
Okay, so maths is important for accounting, yeah?
Yes, of course.
Actually, Miss Roshni, the best example.
Yes,
I don't have any accounting subject taking the Form 4 and Form 5.
Oh.
Me right now, the best example. Yes.
I'm also a science student. I'm also a science student, by the way. I don't have accounting background. Then
so science student maybe can absorb more accounts. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about Mr. Zaman. Are you an accounting student from your secondary time?
No, I was a science student.
All of us are not accounting students.
Very interesting, right?
Yeah. Then I started accounting.
Sorry. Yes, Mr. Zaman, go on.
No, so when I started, of course, like it didn't make sense to me, what are the debits and credits, and it seems so hard to me. But again, when you look at the bigger pictures and when you start understanding that, you will actually fall in love at some point.
Yes. I used to comment one thing is like I'm studying science, it's so complicated. And then how come accounting only have debit and credit and they make it so complicated? And that's where I get interested and more I'm going to study in detail. It's just debit and credit. How hard it can be.
Yes, exactly. Thanks. Yeah. Okay. We have a question from the floor from Tan Ka Wei. Now, Ka Wei asked here, how does an accountant usually deal with high workload, tight schedules, stressful work environment, and messy data?
Okay, Mr. Zaman, you take care of that.
No, that's a great question. That's a very valid question, and I guess everyone goes through. Most of the accountants goes through these deadlines, these tax seasons, or these the due dates. This comes in for the auditings or for any company's financial year ends, right? I would say be mindful. Mindfulness helps.
Mindful. Okay, being mindful.
Yeah. Like, I mean, for me, like, I do a lot of meditations in my off, like, other times, breathings is always like, it's kind of keep you cool, all that. Other than that, of course, with regards to the work, you need to prioritize. It's your workload, right? So whatever comes first. There would be some busy seasons, of course, there would be some extra hours. So we cannot deny that. But on the other hand, once the deadlines are done, the work is really slow. It's really slow. Like for us, we just finished our US tax deadlines in April 15. The deadlines got extended a little bit because of the virus thing. But after the seasons, we always take a lot of vacations, a lot of holidays. All right. So there's always a kind of a good thing to see that, okay, maybe I'm working a little harder now. I'm doing extra hours, but then once it's all over, it's time to enjoy. Right. So, and then again, you just need to keep prioritize your work, what comes first. And then you learn it, I guess, throughout your career. There will be a lot of supports from your team members, managers, partners. You'll get through it. You'll get through it.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Umaima, probably Dr. Chong, you want to add on?
Yes, from my part, okay, so I believe that the accounting program is a very highly demand to potential students from the STM levels, okay, which I can see that they having a very great future ethics in the accounting, and even incorporate with the IT together in this program. So here at the college side, we do have a diploma in accounting and also Group University for accounting and finance, which is a very beneficial, a very big added value to the students that come to join us. So I believe that yes, proceed with accounting if you think that that is the best interest for you to go to.
All right, Dr. Chong.
Well, no pain, no gain. I would say my earlier experience working very hard, responding to the question earlier. I work at least 12 hours a day during the time when I wanted to become accountant. I haven't qualified yet. 12 hours is very minimum. Sometimes I work across Saturday and Sunday as well. Day and night. This is a profession of never see sun, where we always look at moon early morning. But you just think about it. That time, actually, obviously, Mr. Zaman used the meditations, mindfulness. My time, I think mindfulness is not on the key buzzword at that point of time. What we did is we have the intention to become a professional accountant, and what we want is to learn. So every year, every day, we come in. What can I learn? What should I learn? I want to be a qualified accountant. I want to be a very professional accountant. Can I learn something more? So learning oversees actually the hours of working. So with that attitude, actually, we then become a qualified accountant. And looking back, those days that what we have learned, actually, I benefited a lot. And as I compare to some of our peers, perhaps the learning part in the audit firm, a tax firm is tremendous. All kind of industry, right, Mr. Zaman? All kind of. How can you learn all kind of industry in short period of time? Yeah.
Right. So I would say that it's an investment. Just think that as an investment.
Yes.
Whatever hours you're putting in. So the same way when investing a lot of money to get this the educations from the universities or colleges, the same way whatever hours you're putting at the accounting firms or at your workplace, it's an investment to you. It's going to pay you back at some point. You're going to get the recognitions, you're going to get the reward or bonus, whatever you call it. And again, so there's always a, I mean, it doesn't stay busy 12 months. It's maybe like 2 months or 3 months, or maybe like, at the beginning of the year, at the end of the year. But then there's always a kind of slow times for you to take breaks.
Yes, exactly.
And the big firms, they recognize that. And nowadays, I guess the way the whole global work, it's every big companies, they try to keep that work-life balance. They put that as a priority, that every employee and our company, follows that work-life balance. And they're trying to put so many programs, so much money in there to maintain that work-life balance.
Yes. I do see that all the big four have improved in that sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to discourage Ashley as well, but then during the time, the process is not that easy. Also, not over encouraging you. That the process is difficult. I can tell you that during the 12-hour working, I curse myself as well. Why am I in this profession? Should I quit? You know, crazy. You know, this life is crazy. But we overcome that, and then what Mr. Zaman says and Ms. Umaima says is correct. You will
I
enjoy
see that as an
fruit.
investment. So, every time, thought comes in and I feel frustrated, I say, okay, you know what? I'm investing in myself.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. This is our investment. Yes. When you speak to other people, they can see the true depth in you, in your accounting profession. People can see through. The accounting is, I always tell people that accounting is not something that you work in the firm and then you can bluff your way through. If you can't do debit credit within 12 hours, people will know that you can't do debit and credit.
Correct. Yes, you need to learn the way. There's no other way. There's no other way.
There's no other way. Yeah. Okay. You can't bluff your way through.
Right. Thank you so much to all our speakers. Now we have come to an end for today's forum. I'm very sure today has been insightful. So yeah, to all our students who actually like to pursue accounting, I hope you have answered all your questions. And thank you, Kawi. Kawi said thank you, Mr. Zaman. Really helpful answer. Thank you, Mr. Zaman.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just wanted to say, at any point, if you guys have any questions or any students and whoever is watching this, probably moving down in the future, anything that you wanted to share or discuss, feel free to send me an emails. I guess my UCSI College will have my email address, right? I mean,
sure.
I don't just want to be. Just to mention that I don't work for them, right? But then again, I'm like kind of I'm a well-wisher for UCSI College.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Success.
Zaman.
And if there is anything that I can do, with anything, basically, I would be love to help.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. Now, on that note, I'd like to thank all our viewers who have joined us until now. And tune in next Monday. We are going to talk about studying in the UK and the US. And 10 o'clock as well. Yeah, 10 o'clock as well until 11. Now, I'd like to thank all our speakers personally. Thank you, Ms. Umaima. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Dr. Chong. And thank you so much, Mr. Zaman. What time is it there? What time is it over at the US now?
We have it's 10 o'clock now, 10 p.m. at night.
Okay, then good night to you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Zaman.
Thank you. All right.
All right, then have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.